tuo uzuncarum ungularum delectatque contremescit me. Intra, intro.
How good is your Italian?
Bueno.
So not good. I speak Spanish.
Man, smart.
Informal.
Informal.
You got a collar on right now.
I am wearing a collared shirt.
They're not called collars.
Yeah. You call me a collared person. If you're a real friend, you can collar me. Welcome, Elmies, to the 2023 Elmies.
Woo!
Season 3?
Season 3.
Season 3. Say hi, boys.
What's
Hi.
up, everybody? Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
My name's Bill. Thanks for coming out to Boca Pinata.
That's right, we're broadcasting live, Michael.
Sorry, I had my mouth full. Someone just sat done chewing up my meal.
Your meal? Oh, yeah.
Or a Boca Pinata.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily we came here and they are not hungry because they packed all night. Everybody's here and everybody's looking their best. They're dressed to impress because it is the second annual Elmies.
I know it's pretty loud with all these restaurant noises, everybody eating.
There's lots of blenders
chewing.
going on and chewing and
Well, that's
arguing.
the beauty about Boca Pinata. That's why we decided to do it here is because we don't have to chew. We can tell you.
We hope you're not hungry.
Well, we can tell the audience about the winners and the Elmies because the wait staff will be busy chewing our food for us.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
And hopefully
sometimes I just get a meat cleaver and I just slice it up, mince it up for them.
Smash the
Yum.
garlic.
Yeah, and spit on it as if I had chewed it up.
you got to spit on it. It's
Spit
a
on
guarantee.
it. Yep.
Just pull it in the opposite direction of all of my mass. Like, get it away from
For
my
me,
body.
Up and it out.
No, I don't fucking care what direction it is. It just has to be away
Way.
from all of me.
Okay. Yeah.
In
I got
every
it. I got it,
direction.
Got it. Get the bread away from you. Okay. No carbs.
Yes.
Fine.
I'm on a keto thing.
But it is our annual awards ceremony for all the films we have watched with you, our loyal fans. God, we love you so much. Thank you.
What do we call them?
We call them our Elmers.
And
Thank you,
This
Elmers.
is your award ceremony. That's why we call it the Elmies.
We've been counting the votes. I mean, they've been pouring in for weeks. And
Weeks.
It's, it's wild. And then we discarded all of your votes and we
We
decided
threw
to
him
throw
out
our
because you
own.
guys are fucking dumb.
It's our
honestly,
podcast.
we're going to argue about it live on air right now in front of you because you failed us again. You couldn't come up with fucking any of these that made sense. You couldn't pick a winner.
All you had to do is text 1-800-ELMIES and then the entire category you were voting for and the movie and then send it to, it was like, I don't know, a 20, 30 digit number and it was $10 per text.
It's pretty fucking simple.
Pretty fucking simple. We
Pretty
didn't get
fucking
any.
Simple.
So in lieu
So
of
we're gonna
that,
have to do it.
We're doing it. Yeah.
We'll do it ourselves.
But my two lieutenants in the war on horror. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's just get to the first category.
First category.
I'm just gonna pick one.
Okay, go ahead and pick one.
Just fucking pick one.
But
How
let's,
about-
We'll saving the big ones for last.
Big ones for last.
Just like they all do.
let's keep track.
How would you feel about best setting?
Okay. I got a good feeling about that in my pick for
Best
I only nominated
setting.
one. I only nominated one.
Best setting. Do you want to start? You only have one?
I was starting. Yeah, but I only nominated one, and I could have nominated a couple others, but maybe you guys did. Mine, let the right one in. It's
That's a
perfect.
good one.
For the blood, for the-
Winter,
yeah.
Sweden. Yeah,
That's a good
the
one.
harsh contrast between the snow and the blood and
Isolation and darkness,
yeah,
depression. and
played really well with the story.
Yeah.
I had a couple, but yeah, that's a good one. I thought honestly, Tremors is a really good setting.
I do love, I love that back
and it's
country,
believable
middle of nowhere,
in so many
deserty.
ways. It's
Yeah.
American,
Yeah.
And I also really liked The Shadow of the Vampire, but I'm a sucker for like period pieces.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, man. I mean, it's stark. It is a really great setting. It's almost, you could almost do it in a black box theater if you could.
Right.
It's outdoors a lot, but it's really just the playground. So
I had 2 nominees for this. Let the Right One In and Only Lovers Left Alive. Mostly just because, I mean, and the cinematography plays a lot to this, but lots of great shots of, honestly, bad areas of Detroit and just the way that it's shown. And then I can't remember the country that they go to at the end, but it's beautiful, and the shots of them going through the scenes and finding that musicians were playing was great. So those were my 2.
I'll also throw out a nom for Blair Witch.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, it's hard to argue against that one. Real.
But it's like what it's all based on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then for worse.
Well, do we want to name a
I
best
guess
yet?
we should probably name it. Yeah.
I mean, Let the Right One In. We each picked it.
And it's it's, I don't know, it's good. It's like not as much of a character as sometimes the setting can be, you know what I mean? Like when you're talking about like the boat on Jaws or something like that.
Right.
But it's also as much of a backdrop as anything else. And if the backdrop was different, the whole film is different.
It's different.
Yeah, it lends itself to
Tremors
this story
too,
very
but like
well.
it could be in a Rocky. I don't know. Like Tremors is really good nominee, but I do
Agreed.
I'm gonna stick with Let the Right One In.
I am too. My vote's for Let the Right One In.
Okay, Bill, pick a category.
We're gonna go worst.
All right, the
on this?
best.
Are we gonna do the worst?
Elmie for best setting goes to Let the Right One In.
Yeah, we'll do worst.
Yeah, we do worst, right?
We haven't had myself.
We're like the Razzies and the Academy Awards in one. We do both. We make everybody show up. We don't tell them which. They get nominated. They get excited, and then they ended up winning worst, and everybody boos them. It's really embarrassing. What'd you have for worst?
Penny's video.
I had Penny's video as well.
No,
but
worst
it's
setting?
also like a good setting. It was just awful for the movie. So I don't know if that's fair.
They're like in a hotel for a lot of it. It's,
I know it's boring, but I feel like it's not the setting's fault. But
It's
I mean,
just
I
a bad
have it.
movie.
I have it too.
It's also on your list.
I also have Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
That's on a lot of
Love that movie. It's fun, but setting wise, there's a lot of really clumsy setups, which is part of its charm per se. Like the handwritten signs, like there's like signs pointing to the end, but it looks bad. It doesn't look good. It's very low effort. What about you, Michael? What you got?
Field in England, it provided nothing. It was just so I don't know. I guess it was supposed to be like, and I get it because it just didn't land for me. So I can understand if you guys disagree, but it's like it provided nothing in a film about nothing, and I didn't like it.
I mean, I see what you mean, but also that movie is about a field.
In England.
Yeah,
so it's not a bad setting.
Oh, just because it's about something doesn't mean it's a good. Also, though,
that's true.
Like,
I feel like it's the same argument with Benny's video. Like
no,
it's
because
not,
Benny's
the movie
video
was bad, but the
Benny's
setting
video is
was
about Benny's
made
video.
sense and was good.
A Field in England is like all about the setting, and if the setting would have been at all better, so would the film.
Oh, yeah, that's fair as well.
Like Benny's video, you're like, I don't like the film, and like so then it gets knocked or whatever, and like maybe that's what I'm doing, but like really what I'm doing is like, yeah, man, it's like the film is about the setting, if that makes sense. It's called, hey, this is where this film is set. a fucking field in England, and it all sucked. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't
also, I
a
don't
good
care.
movie, but
Yeah, sure. It was like Benny's video wasn't great either, but we're gonna talk a lot of bad movies. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers wasn't a good movie.
yeah, I'm still voting for Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. I mean,
Oh, for worse.
for worst setting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a terrible film. So
I mean, you could definitely
good-
sway me on.
I like the
that.
movie.
it's a really bad movie, and it's on a lot of my lists for bad films. So worst a lot. So yeah, sure, why not? But also Benny's video, and also The Brood is just like I don't know. It's a lot of like in their like rooms and cabins, like a couple interior shots, and it's just whatever.
Really? I'm a sucker for that old style of classrooms where it's like a fucking coliseum almost, and so like all those shots I think are great. I think the
lecture
school
hall?
I think
Yeah.
the school is cool. The school cool. I mean, I think with the actual area that she's being held, the facility is well done, and even like it's like a little fucking like tree house or like little overhead thing where the broods live.
I like it.
And I have the brood down for some worse things, but not setting.
You want to go Hollywood Chainsaw?
I'm
Or
down.
Ben- or
I mean, you
Benny's.
can't. Can
It's
you
hard to
argue that the
argue.
setting for that is
'Cause
good?
Benny's is also just boring and bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
but for just pure
I don't know
setting,
I don't know how the setting plays any factor in Benny's. If I'm being honest, like it moves from a city and then it's in the apartment and then or the house and then it goes to
It's like
Egypt.
it's like it's irrelevant, like where it's happening almost.
right versus like what's going on.
but
in
at least
Hollywood
it's like
Chainsaw
pretty
Hookers is-
shots.
Yeah, I would agree. Like they go to like Tangiers and shit or whatever. Don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, I'm going Hollywood
Watching
Chainsaw Hookers.
TV in a hotel, like yeah, okay. Hollywood
Yeah,
Chainsaw
I'm
Hookers.
going Hollywood Chainsaw.
All
Benny's
right.
video has some really good shots.
And the Elmie for worst setting goes to Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
That's
First,
gonna
best,
be a
and
strange
worst.
bit all night. Go
I have
ahead.
to keep doing it.
Nobody asked you to. Now you have to.
All right, do you want to do next
Nope.
or me?
No, you're next.
Alrighty, we're gonna switch it up and we're gonna go to best and worst plot twist.
Mm.
So these
Oh, man.
wasn't the easiest for me. Obviously, we're gonna start with best, and I have two for best, and honestly, they both have question marks behind them because I'm like, does this count? So we'll discuss. We'll see if it counts. What are we doing? Plot twist. Black Christmas. Does the killer end up being in the home? Does that count as a plot twist?
I don't think
I
so.
know, he's
'Cause
like
I think
in
you
it
know that
from the
as
very
like
beginning.
the audience.
He just shows him climb up the lattice
And
and go in
here's
there.
my other one is Saint Maud, because at
like
the
her
end, because
yeah.
we're not entirely
We don't know what kind of movie
sure.
it is.
Yeah, but then at the end we get the realization.
That she's just crazy
I
and
guess
full of
that's
shit.
yeah, that's valid.
But yeah, this was. I hope you guys, have something. I'm like, oh yeah, that's better, because this was kind of a difficult.
I got
one
a
for best.
soft spot for the film, and I really enjoy this movie, The Changeling,
Oh duh, yeah.
because it was a changeling. He changed the kids. It wasn't like some sort of shapeshifter or anything.
That's true.
I like that quite a bit.
I picked Behind the Mask. She's the final girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I also
This
had
is a
an-
tough one.
I also had another one, which was maybe best, maybe worst, depending on how you see the film. But Invasion of the Astro Monsters.
Fuck.
dude, that's actually
Honestly,
pretty good. It's
that
a swerve.
does make sense. There's no indication from the title or anything leading up that what you're talking about is the people that were going to trade or whatever the disease
The cure for all
cu-
diseases.
the cure all, and then they ended up
Yeah,
being
that's
bad.
actually pretty
Fuck, I
good.
like that actually a lot.
Yeah.
I might. That's. Sorry, someone just. Will you send my compliments to the chef? Thank you. That was great.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Also,
someone was
this
just spitting food into my mouth.
table needs another round of garlic knots.
Oh.
Yeah, shaken, not stirred.
Shake it, not stir it. Shake it in the garlic butter. Don't stir it.
No, in the blender.
Oh yeah. What? I'm not drinking it yet. I'm pretty hungry.
Well, I don't know. That guy had a wet mouth.
So
What do you got?
For best plot twist,
Plot twist.
the Changeling, as I mentioned.
Oh, right. Okay, so.
But I'm gonna go with
Changeling and Astro. I
but I'm
think I'm
gonna
going to
go with Astro.
All right.
I didn't know what you were asking me.
Oh, okay,
if
yeah,
you were
yeah,
asking me for my nomination or my my vote, but I gotta go with Astro.
Yeah,
because
good
it's
call on that.
something I didn't think about, but it's great call actually.
Yeah.
worst.
The
Halloween
Elmie for
ends.
best plot twist goes to Invasion of the Astro Monster.
It's good.
Sure does. All right. So worst. All right.
Halloween ends.
Halloween
Yeah,
ends.
Halloween ends.
Okay.
Halloween ends.
Let's
All
move
right.
on. The Elmie for the worst plot twist goes to
Here's the envelope.
Halloween ends.
Boo.
Oh.
All right. Fuck that movie. Let's move on.
Fuck, dude. We're gonna have a lot of time to either go into that movie or just go like, hey,
We're gonna boo that movie a few times tonight.
fuck that movie. All right, let's get one. We're gonna sprinkle in some big boys occasionally,
Okay.
but it's occasionally
Ooh,
we're gonna get
sprinkle
some
a big boy in me.
Let's,
Occasionally.
Are you talking to the waiter or to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
let's
need
go ahead
a
and,
full porchetta over here, please.
Let's go ahead and get best cinematography.
Ooh.
Let's talk about some fun. Yeah. Wow. Okay, the crowd's hot for that.
Crowd favorite. All right, I'll start. I have 3 nominations for best
Same.
cinematography. Mine are A Girl Walks Home
Yes.
Alone at Night,
Beautiful.
Only Lovers Left Alive,
Yes.
and Bram Stoker's Dracula
Okay.
are my 3 nominations.
Okay, so those are good. Those are
Yeah,
really good.
mostly it was hard to dismiss all the great shots that we talked about of like, Gary Oldman slightly doing something
so
vampiric like
sexy.
in the background, and it's framed just well, and like
I love a framed
the
picture
shot
of him being sexy.
of him on the roof, and the robes going weird ways and not being in mirrors and stuff. So
I
Shadows.
would maybe have not done Bram Stoker's. In fact, I didn't. But the other 2 I cannot. fucking
Dracula
argue
3D.
With. No, but the other 2 I cannot argue with. I only nominated 1 because I feel strongly about it. But I also want to give a quick shout out to also like Cannibal Holocaust has some really good cinematography. If we're just being real, but the movie that I'm gonna nominate fucked with me, and it gave me some real shit to chew on, and a lot of the cinematography had a big part in that, and that was the cinematographer is Josh Shelton, and he did Stanford Prison Experiment, which starts out really lighthearted and like kind of open, and it gets more enclosed and hard and rigid as the film progresses. It gets more acute and narrow, and it's
The shots of the interviews and stuff at the beginning are good too.
man, the film changes tone so drastically to represent the change in tone over the course of the several days it takes place over, and that movie's got some fucking good cinematography.
I'm not going to disagree with that, but with all the discussion and me thinking about it more, when I'm narrowing it down, it goes to A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. And my reasoning behind that is, it's a black and white film, which for me kind of puts more pressure on the cinematography, because when everything is in black and white, there's not a whole lot of distractions per se for that lends your eye to the screen. So if there's something out of line, out of shot, if something doesn't look right, it's more obvious. And I'm thinking of some of the long scenes in that, which weren't my favorite scenes because I felt some of them went on too long. But the shots of like the gangster guy when he's like dancing and doing drugs. Like the shot of that is
Her riding the skateboard.
absolutely fantastic. The shots of her going through the frame on the skateboard are fantastic. The shot of them under the light of a street light when she runs into Dracula is great, and when
Park in the
Dracula
car.
wakes up in the bed and
Dancing in the bedroom.
and they dance in the bedroom, which is honestly
With
one of
the
my
disco
favorite scenes in a
very
movie that I've
beautiful
seen
movie.
in a long time, honestly. So
That was my number one as
yeah,
well.
my vote's got to go for that.
But I also had as not as honorable mentions, Only Lovers and Uzumaki.
Really?
Yeah, just for like some of the camera effects and stuff. I'm not actually that big of a fan of the film, but
Yeah,
I
that's a lot
did
bummer.
appreciate some of the cinematography that was done in it. So
Like a shout out to It Follows as well. Again, it's another one of those things where it's like the camera and the angles are kind of like a character, where it follows, so it's I like
That's a good honorable
anytime
mention
that
for sure.
anytime that the film can encapsulate that. Sometimes it's not always just about framing and things looking pretty, which it is.
Yeah.
Putting that on film is, photographing that is an impressive feat, and having the wherewithal to know when and where to move. But yeah, also just having the camera act as a character, there's something to say about that. I don't think It Follows has quite the edge of some of these other ones. But I mean, Girl Walks Home Alone is not something to argue with. So, worst.
well,
The Elmie for best cinematography goes to
Michael, could you hand him the envelope? Michael.
A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Oh my God! Lily Almond Poor.
All right, worst. Hollywood Chainsaw.
Yeah, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Also,
Shout out to Uninvited.
Dracula 3D.
Oh my God.
Uninvited and Dracula 3D. Yeah,
Dracula 3D
yeah,
is awful. It looks like a soap opera. There's terrible CGI.
yeah,
It's hot garbage.
yeah.
It's terrible.
It's
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
So I don't know. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers is like, I guess, at least knowledgeable that it's low budget. Dario Argento's making films for longer than I've been alive.
way longer than you've been alive.
Yeah, it's like
That's
it's
a good.
just
That's
really
a good
bad,
point.
you
That's
know?
actually a good point. Because
So-
Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers didn't even seek out to make like an artful.
And it's a terrible film, and it'll get
Film.
other awards. But like, I'm just saying, Dracula 3D was dog shit.
I mean, Dracula 3D is definitely worse than Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, and probably worse than Uninvited, and it gets my vote now.
Yeah. Yeah, Dracula 3D.
Dracula 3D is so bad because they put money into how bad it was.
Yeah.
Like, there was horrible effects.
He
There
put
was
his
We
horrible
have
daughter
to
into how bad
consider
it
that.
was.
God, she's like one of the better things in it. That's
Yeah.
not good.
All right.
And the Elmie for worst cinematography goes to Dracula 3D. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm like knocking them out, you know?
Rob's starting to pick
Woo!
category.
Well, give me a second here. Best humor.
Okay.
Best and worst humor.
This one, to me,
I have a
it's
lot.
hard,
I have
but
a-
it's
I have
also
like
really
six.
easy.
So
I have like I have like
two.
6.
I have 2, but really, it's only one.
And you
And
know what
it's
it's
Dead
going
Alive.
to be. Mm.
Oh!
I mean,
Dude, it's.
I
No.
listed like 6, but I'm torn between 2.
It's Dead Alive.
Is Dead Alive
right?
one of them?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the other one
Oh,
is Tammy.
Yeah, it's Tammy.
Dead Alive's better.
Tammy is
Tammy
so
is
goddamn
funny.
fucking funny.
That's my other one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tammy is really funny, but Dead
But I
Alive is
thought-
up there too.
But honestly, I thought like one of the biggest comedic scenes in Dead Alive is the scene of him with the baby at the park, and I thought you hated that
I
scene.
did hate that.
It's really funny, actually.
But I love that part.
really hated that.
I do
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
really like that.
Tammy is pretty fucking funny. I also have an honorable
fucking
mention
hilarious.
for either best or worst. Lair of the White Worm.
Yeah, that was mostly
That's a
unintentional,
weird humor
but that's a
like maybe
strange
too
fucking
British for
movie.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, some other nominations. Invasion of Astro Monsters. Like,
It's really fun.
what I mean, we
We
laughed
laughed.
our fucking ass off.
Yeah, we were also highly
I mean,
intoxicated.
but I mean,
But
still, that's a good point. Well, we'll be sure to put that in our computer system or whatever. And like the soundproof jail bars, like, come
Oh,
on,
man, that's wild.
You know what else we gotta mention?
Ernest?
Ernest Scared Stupid, right?
Dude,
And I have Tremors, too.
Tremors,
Tremors
is
also-
good.
really funny.
We watched a lot of funny movies.
Reanimator is very funny.
Reanimator's got some good
Tremors
humor
is
in it.
good. That was I kind of thought about that, and I thought about Tremors, but
Black Christmas has some good humor in it.
Black
we
Christmas
did that
is
recently.
like snarky in its way. I don't think it holds up.
It's
How about
unfair
Night of
'cause
the Demons?
we also watched
Night of the
Tammy
Demons is pretty funny, but
last
I
year.
can't. I mean, my vote's for Tammy.
We watched Tammy last year too, and it did win some Elmies.
So should we,
I don't know. We should give it to the one we watched this year that deserves it.
Tammy?
I mean,
We can get it to Dead Alive if it got. Did Tammy get best humor last year?
it doesn't matter. I mean, did we watch Tammy last
We
year?
did.
Like we didn't do a pod episode.
It's
though.
on the Elmies.
Yeah, I know it's on, but we didn't do a pod.
Did we do it
episode.
in the Blitz?
No, we did it as a bonus movie.
Oh.
It was like a second feature movie. But this year, all the movies that we will be handing out awards will have been episodes of 13th and Elm, kind of like it should have always been.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you two settle this.
I'm down to do Dead Alive.
Dead Alive.
I'm down to do Dead Alive. I
Okay.
mean, I'm torn between that and Tammy, and you're right. Like, we did Tammy this year, but it was like a watch along, and we were just all really sober and coherent.
Really sober and coherent.
The most sober we've ever been.
Dead Alive.
Dead Alive.
Dead
And the
Alive.
Elmie for best humor goes to Dead Alive.
Worst.
Visitor Q.
I also got Hotel Transylvania
I put Hotel Transylvania.
and The Witches of Eastwick.
I put Hotel Transylvania, Carmela movie, and Uninvited.
Carmelo movie will be omitted from all of my considerations tonight. I don't understand it. It wasn't for me. I watched it on accident. I don't have any right to critique it. It doesn't belong in my version of 13th and Elm. I'm sorry.
I mean, either does Hotel Transylvania.
No, it does. It's in the name.
Hotel.
Hotel Transylvania
Yeah,
is my vote.
Yeah, mine too.
Sure.
And the Elmie for worst humor goes to Hotel Transylvania.
Okay, Bill.
All right,
It was
my
pretty fucking bad.
my pick. All righty,
My pick.
My pick. All right.
Jabba
How would
This
you
one's
spell
always fun. I'm always excited. Always, we've been doing this forever. I'm always excited to hear Rob's take on this because he cares about this a lot, and I like hearing about it. I'm not kidding. Let's do best, worst, concept, and lore. I feel like Rob is like the king of lore and loves picking that out. So I'll still start. For concept and lore, I have It Follows and Blair Witch are up there for me, but I'm interested to see what you guys have, and we'll probably be like, oh yeah, that too.
I went with Behind the Mask, Leslie Vernon, because that is just, I mean,
Yeah,
good.
that's a good one too.
That's really good. I didn't think about that for lore. I had a 3, and It Follows was my third runner-up.
Wow.
But
Okay.
my first two are Thirst,
Mm.
because I really do love it. Like, it's just a great... Fuck, it's so good.
Such a great take on vampires.
And Noriko's Dinner Table.
Okay,
Which,
yeah,
like,
that's my vote.
I'm just saying, like, I
my vote.
also gave that film a bunch of worsts, but, like, it has... I'm not going to lie, man. It has a good...
It'd be smart if it wasn't so
It
fucking
has a
stupid.
good- exactly. It has like a... And I was like begrudgingly... I was like going over my list. I was like, no.
I knew you were gonna do that.
And then I was
too.
like, nah,
knew it.
man. Actually, it has like a fucking really cool idea. It's just a shit execution, terrible director, poor acting.
Hey,
Bad
Sound
soundtrack.
Sono?
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
can't say
Oh,
that
I
director on that.
do as worst director.
Ooh, well, that's not gonna get.
That's not
You're
gonna
not
win.
getting an Elmie for that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sion.
But
Sorry. You know,
Thirst is my number one.
It's hard for me, even though I like Thirst so much more as a movie. It's really hard thinking of best concept. It Follows really hits a lot of things right on the head that horror hasn't done either ever or in a really long time. And I'm not even a huge fan of that movie, but there's no arguing that that concept is really unique and is present with a lot of metaphors that are relevant, and it holds up. It will be a modern classic, and
until it becomes a classic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with It Follows for the concept.
Yes,
As
sir.
much as I love Thirst and their take on vampires, it's still vampires. It Follows is, I mean, it's completely new as far as I'm concerned. There's probably similar stuff. Everything is a derivation of something else, but
Definitely.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I love Behind the Mask just as a concept. There are things that kind of do something similar, but like Leslie Vernon is a fun movie, and it's one of those comedy horrors where it's more comedy than horror, really. And I don't think those work very well most of the time. Most of the time, I like horror comedy and with a heavy balance in the horror, and the comedy needs to be a relief. Sometimes when it's the other way around, everything just seems so over the top, and unless it's a real home run, it can be off-putting. And I think that Leslie Vernon is a real home run. I think it makes horror fans laugh, and I think it makes horror fans lose their mind. But that being said, like, It Follows is also it's terrifying and relatable and real, and it took way too long for somebody to make a movie like that, and yet it was a movie that when everybody saw, or like a lot of people when they saw it, thought, wow, this reminds me of all the like slashers I grew up loving. It is a great movie, and I would not be upset with the Elmie going to that.
What do you think? We're pretty torn.
Yeah, man, I think It Follows on my short list.
So you want to go It Follows?
I'll throw my hat in for that.
All right. The Elmie for best concept and lore goes to It Follows.
Had an honorable mention for Ringu.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. For the
Honestly, it could
Yeah, I
be like
didn't
really
think about
fucking
that one, but
stupid
yeah, for the
if you
time.
like think VHSs are dumb, but
yeah, like if you explained that movie to me, I'd be like, I would never watch that. That's stupid.
exactly.
But it's not. So yeah, that's definitely a good one to mention as well. What about worst? I know it's going to be. I only have one, and I know you guys will both disagree. So I'll let you guys go
nominated
first.
one as well, and we already like decided that it's not going to be Noriko's.
So what is it? What's yours?
The Loved Ones.
What?
Really?
I really like this movie until we get introduced to the pit of like, you know, brain fucked up monsters. If it was a pit full of dead bodies or just a, you know, Gacy situation under the fucking floorboards, dead body, just give me an insane daughter and father that have been killing people and getting away with it. It's a much better movie. I was really, the first time I watched this movie, I was really enjoying it, and as soon as that floor opened up and those things were thrown into it, it left a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay, I could see that.
But I couldn't really think of anything else, so there's probably...
I got a couple.
Let's hear
I have
'em.
one that I don't really know if I can really introduce it because it's so small in the scope of the lore. But like, if we're talking about what it does within the lore, then it's Halloween Ends. But like, I'm not going to acknowledge that enough to say that it takes away like the lore of Halloween. Like, I don't know. That one's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not vote that for worst of everything just to do it. Also,
I'm gonna throw a few at you that
Yeah.
I think are kind of fun, but they're dumb. Cat People.
that's true. That is dumb, even though that is a fun movie.
Lawnmower Man. It's an insane
What?
lore.
How?
The Hunger.
Oh,
David
Oh,
Bowie and
God.
Hunger, like live
So
forever and
bad.
stuff. And Carmilla movie, but that's
Movie's
not,
fucking
we're gonna
horrible.
Just void that out. So, but Cat People was really fucking bad.
I thought that
I don't
at
even
the
rem-
time,
I don't
and
even
you guys
rem-
liked it more than I did.
I don't
I'm
even
not
remember the
saying I
actual.
didn't like not enjoy watching it, but the lore is like clunky and bad.
I just remember them running
And
around at a horrible zoo
Lawnmower Man
and then
is
them
insane.
torturing
See, and
a
that's
big
what I'm
cat in
saying
an
is, like,
apartment.
that's what I'm saying is like I don't really think that Halloween falls into that because it's like the lore is not clunky. They just fucked it up. But like cat people is something I would definitely agree with because it's like, how does this work? Why? Okay,
their brother and sister.
Yeah,
Wait,
whatever.
Why?
I'm down for.
They abused all those cats.
Yeah, so fuck that. I'm down for cat people.
Yeah. Cat people.
Cat people.
And the Elmie for worst concept and lore goes to cat people.
They also destroyed like the previous version of the film. Like it's not.
This was a remake. Yeah,
and it like was the bastardization and completely different. So like they not only was the lore sloppy, but like they ruined.
They took it and changed it and made it worse.
Okay.
I think it was Bill's pick, right? You did lore? Or
no, I just did it. So if you want to do another banger, another big
I'll
boy.
save a banger for somebody else, and I'll do.
All right.
Maybe it's a banger, but
a fun one.
It's a fun one.
Do a fun one.
It's best and worst jump scare. I'll start because I got a couple best nominations here.
Okay, because this one was tough for me.
Just because we've talked about this movie a few times already, and I know we'll talk about it more, I will mention the tall man that comes through the door and it follows. It's a really good jump scare. Like when she's hiding and she's like hears the knock and then
right, that one is yeah.
And then the one that I don't know that we'll mention, but I genuinely was like not seeing it coming, and it got me to say like, "Oh fuck!" And it was really fun. Is Feast when they introduced the hero, and he's like, "Oh, I'm the hero," and, it's like, and then bam, like straight through the fucking window, he gets cracked. I love that shit. Just that's good.
Those are two on mine. I've got, it follows Tall Man, and then Feast is really a lot of jump scares, but that one in particular. And also Antlers, when he gets like drug out of like the side yard when he's like running around, and then he gets like taken into like the shed and stuff, fucked up hardcore.
And he's like that big ass fucking. He's finally like the Wendigo.
Yeah.
So like the only one I have is from the same scene that I talked about this for another one, but Saint Maud when it just switches to her actually bursting into flames on the beach in front of people is very quick, and it's very shocking, and the fact that it's how the movie ends.
It's a powerful scene for sure.
Yeah.
And it's masterfully delivered because like you said earlier, you don't know
you're not entirely
what type
sure
of movie we're watching. Are we in a supernatural world? Are there demons? Or is she crazy?
And you find out in literally 1 second and then credits. And I like that. Because I like I'm not a fan of jump scares. I think we'd probably all
no, but when they're good, like they can be effective, and like that's why it's on the list. And I remember last year we really struggled. And I'm surprised that we had like 3 or 4 different nominations this year. Those were pretty good. All of those are pretty good. Because a lot of times even they're just not memorable to me.
Yeah.
It's like I forget them before they even happen because I know they're coming and I like refuse to acknowledge them. But when they genuinely get me, like that's the thing about like the Feast one is like, I don't know if it scared me. I'm not often scared by movies, but it startled me. It got a reaction, and then I fucking laughed at myself for jumping. It was a jump scare. Like, yeah, it did scare me, I guess, or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to take myself back to that place when I first saw It Follows with the tall man, but I honestly don't remember it doing much for me.
Huge. Yeah, it's creepy.
It's funny that
I mean, I wouldn't be upset at that, but I mean, it's hard for me to go away from the Saint Maud moment of her being on fire, and a lot of that is based on the place that jump scare has in the plot and how it's positioned in the movie, and that it's literally the last shot.
I guess I think it's a great scene. I just don't.
But Tall Man's good too. Like I'm not mad at that winning in Elmie. He's proper creepy.
I don't see that so much as a jump scare, but it is startling, definitely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's more of a reveal, I think, but I also because I hadn't thought about it as a jump scare previously. I was open. I was thinking about it now or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm probably gonna stick with either Feast or It Follows.
I think it follows in.
Yeah.
And the Elmie for best jump scare goes to It Follows. Tall Man.
Tall Man.
What about worst?
Halloween Ends.
Yeah, Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends. Okay.
Okay, next.
end.
And the worst Elmie for a jump scare goes to Halloween Ends.
Okay, I'm gonna select a big boy.
Big boy.
This is a big girthy gore boy.
Girthy
Ooh.
gore. Oh.
Best gore. I got
All right.
a lot.
Best and
There's
worst
so much for
Okay.
best.
gore. We had
So-
so much good gore this year.
Number 1,
Number 1.
loved ones, foot maiming.
Okay.
Number 2, The Fly.
Okay. We have very different lists.
Number 3, antlers, the corpse burned out husk,
Uh-huh.
and Night of the Demons, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow. Okay, mine's Dead Alive. I mean, I have more than that, but if I'm picking one, Dead Alive. There's a shit ton of gore, and it's somehow for a movie to use the most fake blood that a movie's ever used. It doesn't seem like a drop is out of place, and that sounds ridiculous, but
It
it's
does
true.
sound ridiculous.
Also, Reanimator.
Yeah, Reanimator's pretty good.
Those are my top 2. I mean, there's so much more. A lot that you said. Nightmare has some great stuff.
Thirst has some great.
Thirst for sure, but I mean, I can't budge away from Dead Alive for best
Cannibal
gore
Holocaust has
or
some
Cannibal
great.
Holocaust.
But Dead Alive, best gore. Pick a scene. Pick a.
Pick
Pick
a
it, please
30-second
pick a-
clip of that movie, and it's got better gore than 98% of movies ever made.
But we did also watch Reanimator. I do love Loved Ones. I
Just
love
saying,
Thirst.
Loved Ones has
honestly,
great gore.
Antlers has some pretty crazy car crash scenes, and then also that scene where it's the corpse burnt out husk of a father shit is. I
That
don't
shit
know,
is
man.
good, but
It's crime scene stuff, but
Dead Alive.
I mean, I gotta go Dead Alive. For
hey, Dead
gore.
Alive it is.
The Elmie for best gore goes to Dead Alive. Worst.
Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
I have Dracula 3D.
I have a field in England.
Is there any gore in that?
No.
There's some. Yes, there
It's
is.
supernatural dumb shit, and that's why it sucks.
There's a decent shot of a dude getting his fucking brains blown out. That's actually pretty graphic. And it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shitty movie, but there's a close up headshot, and it's well done.
Yeah.
Um,
There's also a lot of other subpar gore in that.
In Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, there's a hand, a rubber hand that gets thrown out.
Yeah, that's.
is that gore or effects? Or both?
It's dismembered.
No, I mean, yeah, it's hard to. I can't argue that Hollywood
What'd you
Chainsaw
say?
Hookers had good gore. For worst, Dracula 3D.
Oh my god, that was.
It's a garbage film.
At least there was.
Because it was CGI, bright
Yeah.
red shit. It
Ugh.
was just bad.
Both of you guys pick. Those both sucked.
What were you?
Hollywood.
It's
The only hard
It's
thing
hard to
here is
argue
picking
against that,
one,
but,
and then you leave the other one out.
it's hard to not
both
think
deserve
about budget, because this is how Dracula 3D won its Elmie for the other worst thing, is because
They
they
put
put
money in it.
money into it.
Okay.
Yeah, that is also true.
I have to say Dracula 3D.
Dracula 3D.
Fuck, dude, that movie's so bad.
The Elmie for worst gore goes to Dracula 3D. All right, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do a fun one, and then you guys gotta save a big boy for me next time. I think this one will. Fuck, should I even pick this one? Yeah, I'll do this one. I don't remember how we worked this one out, but most enjoyable first time watch.
Wait, hold on. Help me eat this calzone real quick.
Ooh, that looked
There you go.
really good.
Oh,
That looked tasty.
Tender.
That
How was
looked
it?
really tasty.
it was good. Yeah, meatball marinara.
All right, most and least enjoyable first time watch. I'll start. Most enjoyable first time watches. I have a couple.
Mm.
Invasion of Astro Monsters
Yep.
was a lot of fucking fun.
Dang, really?
Thirst,
Yeah.
Only Lovers, Left
Yes.
Alive, Let the Right One In, and Snowtown.
I had Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Loved Ones, Tammy and the T-Rex, which kind of doesn't count because we already watched it, Invasion of the Astro Monsters, Dead Alive, and The Fly.
I had Only Lovers Left Alive. Thirst. Loved Ones. And something else that you said, but it really all falls off after Lovers Left Alive.
Like, were any of these the first watch for any of us, though? Like, that's the issue here.
Right,
Yeah,
because a lot
all
of these
those
were the
except for Tammy.
recommended. Was
Well, I
that-
mean, as a group, like the first time that all three of us saw it.
because most of
I don't
them are
think so.
recommended by somebody else in our first watch.
Because you
A lot
didn't
of them.
like Loved Ones, and
Yeah,
you
'cause
guys
I seen
and
Loved
we'd all
Ones
seen
already,
Tammy,
and
he'd
I
seen
saw Dead
Invasion.
Alive. Yeah. So is there one that that was new?
I don't know. I like
To
The
all
Fly
of
a
us?
lot, but I don't know if you guys.
I like The Fly. I'm
House.
trying to think. House
Yeah.
was a lot of
No.
fun.
Saint Maud was good. Antlers was good.
Yeah, Saint Maud was good.
Saint Maud was solid. Antlers, I remember being solid, but I'm like trying to fucking remember it, and I'm
It was like
remembering
the-
every other movie way more.
That's like one of the first movies we watched in the year.
Yeah.
That's true.
A Night of the Demons was my first watch this year.
Oh,
That was really
fuck,
good.
That movie
It
is
was
great.
good.
That's a lot of fun.
But I'd seen It Follows, Blair Witch, Tammy,
Exactly.
Girl Walks Home,
Mm.
and like you'd seen Behind the Mask is good. You'd seen Only Lovers. Ernest, you'd seen. I do love Snowtown. That was rough. I'd seen but I don't know,
Did
man.
not enjoy watching that.
Which one?
Snowtown.
Yeah. What can we agree on? Night of the Demons?
Or
that
Saint Maud.
I mean,
As a group, we only watched a handful of movies for the first time, all of us together.
they were both good, and honestly,
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Saint
No.
Maud is a better film, but I'm most likely
Night
to
of the Demons
watch.
was more fun.
Yeah, I will definitely watch Night of the Demons again
Okay.
in my life, and
Night of
I
the
don't
Demons
think
was
I'll ever
good.
watch Saint Maud again. Not because it wasn't good, but
You've seen that film.
So Night of the Demons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alright.
like Night of the Demons a lot.
The Elmie for most enjoyable first time watch goes to Night of the Demons.
All right, so the next one,
Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends.
And Carmela movie.
You say that, and I did put that on there, but also Noriko's.
Halloween Ends.
Yeah, it's got to be Halloween Ends. At least Noriko's, like, I didn't feel betrayal, you know?
What?
And I don't enjoy feeling the betrayal that I felt when I was watching Halloween Ends. It was like I was sat there. It was like I was forced to.
I felt betrayed by Bill.
I like Noriko's, so I'm not surprised that you picked it. But Halloween Ends wins this by a landslide.
For me, I kind of agree.
It's splitting hairs, I guess, but I would never watch either of them again.
Yeah,
This
I would
Halloween
never-
Ends is shorter. Yeah, sure, Halloween.
Least enjoyable first time watch goes to the Elmie goes to Halloween Ends. That is their second
Second or third.
third nomination
Worst.
and second worst Elmie of the night.
Michael?
Okay. Let's go ahead and do a fun one.
Yes.
Best quote. I got two.
Quote. Oh,
Two
is this like
quotes.
one liner?
Yeah, quote, one liner, whatever.
All right, I have 2.
I got 2.
Okay.
Longtime listeners will recognize one of these from our intro.
Nope, I know what this is.
Scared to close my eyes. Scared to open them. It's really good.
I didn't even think about that, but that's got to be on there.
And then there's another one that I really enjoy, from our favorite sweater wearing fucking metal fingered killer. Welcome to primetime, bitch.
It's good. It's good. It's good. I've got 2 fun ones and a serious one. Bird bath.
Oh fuck. Okay, we'll end it. It's bird bath.
Hold on. I'm not done yet. I kick ass for the Lord. Father Magruder.
Oh my god, how did I not think of that?
My serious one that is just so fucking good. I have crossed oceans of time to find you.
Fuck. God, you thought of way better ones than I did.
I did.
I had your mother ate my dog.
That's good though. But if we're giving it to one in that movie, it's not. It's fucking I kick ass for the Lord.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. And then you guys both hated this movie, but I love this quote. Wait, this isn't a miracle. It's shit. Visitor Q. But I really do like, and I can't believe I didn't think of this. I'm scared to open my eyes. I'm scared to close them. Like, we're gonna die to here tonight or whatever. That's fucking good. And the fact that that was improv, honestly, fuck, that's my vote. Because I'm thinking about the situation is that she's actually scared and tired and terrified, and she ad-libbed that. So fuck yeah, but bird bath.
I'm not sold on that. It's like okay, but I saw it for the first time recently, and it didn't stand out to anything else in the film. Like, it's all good, but I wouldn't call it a standout quote.
All right, bird bath.
Bird bath.
It's insane.
I mean, bird bath.
It was a joke.
Fuck
bird
around,
bath?
found out.
Bird bath.
And the Elmie for best quote goes to bird bath
from Lawnmower Man. Okay, you know what the worst one is, right? I mean, we can go through the ones we like, but like, you know what the worst one is, right?
Is it something from Halloween Ends?
Yeah.
Is it
Evil Dies
Evil
Tonight?
Dies Tonight?
Yeah. But also, can I ask you something, Padre? I was kicking ass back there. Did you get a little wood? Huh? A little mahogany? And some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill from Blade.
That shit's funny.
What do the cops say about
In what?
Fucking, you know,
In Tammy?
Yeah.
Oh, he sure ain't baiting his own fishing hook.
He ain't baiting his own hook.
And that's so funny because he's talking about a dead teenager
Jesus.
that has his head smashed in by a T-Rex. Wait, you have that for worst?
No. I was just.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
That is great. The cops and Tammy are the only cops I hope live.
But it's Evil Dies Tonight.
Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah, worst quote goes to Evil Dies Tonight. It goes to Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends.
That's their third worst Halloween, I believe. And not
They're
their
not
last.
their last.
Whose turn is it? Mike or Rob?
Yeah.
Oh, how about best score?
Okay.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Okay.
Cannibal Holocaust.
And unfortunately, I can't budge on that. I know I've high ranted about this multiple times, but I stopped and replayed the opening credits probably 5 or 6 times. I'm not kidding when I said that score changed my life.
So
I can't pick anything.
Today while I was putting together my list, it was really good.
I have the vinyl in my cart, and I will someday spend $80, $90 on it because I'm dumb, and it's beautiful.
I was going to give a shout out
But let's talk about others.
to Nightmare on Elm Street 3 actually has great soundtrack. Also shout out in memorandum RIP Angelo Badalamenti. Passed away earlier this year. He did that soundtrack. It was fucking beautiful.
Also, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night introduced me to some beautiful music as well as Only Lovers. Because, yeah, that scene in A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night when he wakes up and they have that scene is Death by White Lies. That's also been like
really
a
good.
song that I will be listening to forever that I discovered from that. But I have to vote for Cannibal Holocaust.
What about The Hunger opening scene with fucking Bela Lugosi's dead? It's
Pretty
fucking
good.
iconic. It's good. It's the best
It is
part of the
good,
movie.
yeah.
Is the soundtrack.
It is the
for
best part of the
Hunger.
movie, as is best part of Cannibal Holocaust. And Lair of the White Worm is another like bad or great, maybe not the best, but
Fun.
fun.
Different.
But yeah, Girl, and then my second was Cannibal. So
Cannibal.
Let's also take a quick moment to mention Jerry Goldsmith's beautiful soundtrack for The Omen. Another
Great
banging
soundtrack.
Like, that's a very good soundtrack. But my vote is Cannibal Holocaust because that is just a heater. Riz Ortolani.
and
And
for go ahead.
And the Elmie for best soundtrack goes to Cannibal Holocaust.
Worst? Got a couple.
I had a tough time on this, so you guys go and I'll piggyback.
One that I nominated I felt very strongly about. After you go.
Suicide Club, House, and Noriko's Dinner Table.
Nope. I think you're forgetting what you hate
No.
most.
What's that?
If I could score a 2+ hour long movie to only music box instrumentals, such as Dario Argento did for Dracula 3D, it was all the like ballerina fucking shit in the music box.
I
It's
mean,
horrible.
House is very similar to that.
Oh, House has
It's awful.
House does have a really polarizing soundtrack.
It's interesting. I didn't hate it.
It was aggravating. I was angry about it, and same with Noriko's too. Just garbage. But
Chode jeans.
30.
Fucking trash.
Yeah, Dracula 3D. I didn't think about that.
Also, I had Noriko's down as my number 2.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And I didn't think about House, but these are all bad.
They have really bad soundtracks. Really bad.
I would vote for Dracula 3D just because I don't want either of those other ones to win a worst. But I don't really
They're
care.
really
I didn't
bad.
I couldn't think of one, honestly. So, like, soundtracks, like the good ones stick out, and I remember that. Bad ones don't
I think
ruin films for me,
actually,
really, and, like, really stick in my mind, I feel like. So, it
Here's
was
the
hard
thing.
for me to think.
Noriko's is like a film I don't like for a lot of reasons. House, I feel like I would have liked more if the soundtrack wasn't so distracting.
Yeah.
And I actually read that when I was still using Letterboxd, which I gave up on after about 12 movies. I went back and I was like, that was a big knock against it. So I think that's going to be my vote.
House?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I feel bad that I didn't mention It Follows for the previous category because, Disaster Piece kills it with the.
Oh,
fucking,
yeah,
like,
great soundtrack.
But yeah, House is. House, though, also the soundtrack is so important though to the movie because you can't. It's not House without that soundtrack, and I think that's your argument because you don't want it to be House, and like I don't necessarily know if I want it to be House either, but it is, and like I'm glad that exists because it's the only example of it.
Sure.
All right, House.
All right, and the Elmie for worst soundtrack goes to House.
Phil?
All right. Oh, it's my turn.
You wanted a big
I'm
boy.
going to do a big boy.
Boy.
Oh, and I'm doing a big
Stinky boy.
boy. Best and worst male role.
I'd be surprised if we don't all kind of agree on this, actually.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few.
I
But
would be surprised if we agreed on this.
Well, go ahead, Michael.
Gary Oldman.
Oh, yeah.
Dracula.
He's definitely on the short
He
list.
is on my short list as well.
It's Gary, man. Like he's
He's
Well,
great.
let's talk
a
about
powerhouse.
let's talk about some other ones.
He's so
Okay,
sexy. Another
let's talk about
sexy
Tom
boy.
Hiddleston then. If
Yeah,
we're talking
Tom
about other
Hiddleston
ones.
is in my short list as well.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, Daniel Henshaw,
That's another. Yep.
awful,
but great.
and Willem Dafoe.
Carrie Hedebrandt as an Oscar in Let the Right One In.
Yeah, I had Willem Dafoe as well. I thought he was fucking fantastic in Shadow of a Vampire.
Yeah, he is really good
He's
in that.
amazing. You know who else is honestly? I'm going to mention this because he deserves it. Jim Varney as fucking
Is
Ernest.
Ernest?
Dude, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
amazing.
I absolutely agree, but
It's not going to win for
Yeah.
but like the dude's range and
it's
his
worth
skills,
mentioning what he can do.
It is, and it's not a joke nomination. The guy is just magic in front of the camera. Like, he has so many skills. It's fascinating to watch, honestly. And while I do think that I got to go with, you know, a Willem Dafoe or any of the handfuls of people that we had mentioned because their roles were a little bit more serious, you know, that's kind of a product of writing amongst other things. But I will give Ernest some love.
I considered him, honestly, and part of it is like, yeah, he does have the range, but he is playing his character, and he plays the character very well, and he's talented. You can tell just by the way he acts, by the way he moves his face, you know, all that. But it's got to be Gary, right? Like, he's Dracula.
I want to
He's Dracula.
shout out
It's hard not to go Gary here for sure.
Song Kang Ho in
Dude.
Thirst, Priest Sang Hyun.
Yeah.
Is
Absolutely, he's fucking amazing.
It's-
He's in a lot of really good shit.
Yeah.
I
He
should have
is.
put
He's
him on
so
here.
good.
He's
Really
absolutely
good in that.
fantastic.
incredible.
Everybody's really good in that,
Yeah.
honestly.
But
yeah.
for me, like, Gary
God, he's so fucking sexy.
is like really good, and
He's creepy and ancient and gorgeous and modern and timeless and evil.
there was another one I wanted to give a quick shout out to, and you mentioned Daniel Henshaw, but Lucas Pitaway was Jamie Velasquez, who also did a really good
Yeah.
job. Heartbreaking performance. That movie is
It's a good fucking
fucked up.
movie.
Did not enjoy watching it.
Uh,
I didn't either,
Good movie though.
in a good way. But Gary
Gary.
and the Elmie for the best mayor role goes to Gary Oldman in Bram Stoker's
Stoker's
Dracula, because, like you said, he is Dracula. Worst. Can I? I'll
Oliver
start.
Reed.
I'll start. Or go who? Well, who did he play? Because I honestly just have characters.
Dr. Hal Raglan in The Brood.
The Doctor?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was that bad, but I have the dad from The Brood.
He's pretty bad too.
He was like, that movie was like a chore. He
Dr.
didn't want to be there.
Dr. Raglan just is insane. Just
But I feel like
he delivers lines.
he definitely wasn't
horribly.
great, but his character, it kind of worked out.
Also had Benny.
What?
Arno Frisch.
That's
Actually
I can't
fucking
sign off on
absolutely
that at all.
insane.
That's
He's
great performance by a very
He's
talented actor,
extremely
I would say.
talented. That's wild.
There's a lot about that movie that I don't care for, and I wouldn't argue much of it, but the performances between mom, dad, and specifically Benny are three things that I would say are...
Carry that movie.
Yeah.
He's half asleep. He's boring.
He seems like a legit,
Psychopath.
absolutely psychopath. He's fantastic, and he's also really good in
Funny games.
funny games. He's fantastic. I also put Keanu from Dracula, who just seemed like he was copied
That
and
is
pasted
honestly
in
a
there.
terrible performance from him.
Yeah.
And a bad accent.
He was,
As
he was,
Renfield.
he was horrible.
Those
Those were my two big ones: the dad in The Brood and Keanu in Dracula. They both acted like they didn't want to fucking be there.
Well, I have one that's... I feel strongly about, but it's kind of a question too. Some of it's writing. It's hard to really say the acting, but like James Hugh Courtney as Michael Myers, like that's not how Michael
Moves
acts.
and acts.
That's not how he behaves. He doesn't question things and like show sympathy, but also is like that the performance, like the man did what he was asked to do. And I'm like getting upset because of the interpretation of a character that was outside of his control. I don't necessarily think that's fair, but it is what I put down for one of my options.
I agree with you on that, but yeah, he was just following orders.
It's not his fault. It wasn't great. I did have Keanu as well.
It was. I'm laughing at imagining Keanu in that movie. He seems so out of place. Like he doesn't want to fucking be there. His accent is horrible.
It's like he's in an SNL parody of the movie.
Yeah.
I also put not Toby Hooper, sorry, but Gunnar Hansen in Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. He plays like the demon lord. He just like literally showed up. You want to talk about somebody who's half asleep? That guy didn't even know he was in that movie.
No. He has like, what, 5 lines?
And he's like at head billing. It's like him and Linnea Quigley.
It's wearing like a bad polyester cloak from Party City.
It's not great.
It's a shit movie.
And I would also say another guy who we love who turned in a absolute dog shit performance was Malcolm McDowell in Cat People. You forgot he was even in it, didn't you?
No, he
jumps up on the fucking cat or the corner of the bed and shit, and he's like their brother and sister. It's so bad.
That was pretty bad.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
It seems like
I'm gonna go with Keanu.
It seems like Keanu is on our short list.
Awful.
Let's give another shout out to fucking Joshua John Miller as Homer in Near Dark. The kid.
Yeah, the kid. I don't know. Near Dark is a weird mixed bag. I didn't really like the movie, but there's some good highlights. But Keanu's fucking dog shit.
Yeah, and the worst male role goes to the dog shit Keanu Reeves. Keanu, if you're listening,
dog shit. No. Dog shit. I think like we're not the first to think that your performance in that was awful.
No. All right, Michael.
Okay. We're getting down to some good ones. I'm gonna take a fun one.
Do it.
Best effects.
Ooh.
This was a hard one. There's lots of good ones, but to me, there was one that kind of stood out. I don't know, man. I'll go on the ones I'm not going to nominate. Number 1, like Cannibal Holocaust is great. Thirst has some really cool effects. Honestly, The Changeling has like cool effects because of what they had to do without the gore, but like it doesn't stand out amongst like The Fly and Reanimator and even Loved Ones. But for me, it's got to be Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. Kevin Yeager's team fucking killed it with the like marionettes and like the superimposed dreams, like big face Freddy Krueger and all the souls coming out of his fucking chest and the TV
fucking shit, dude. Like and the marionette stuff's crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's I don't know. That has amazing visual effects.
That stuff is great. It is in my short list. For me, it's hard to not go with the movie that the director had to bring in the actors into a courtroom to show that they were actually not dead. Cannibal Holocaust and Dead Alive.
So the effects in Dead Alive aren't anywhere as good.
Cannibal Holocaust is like either or, because there's scenes where they're like clearly using like bad caveman tools and they're just red paint.
Yeah.
So like,
but then you get like women on the
stake is really good,
and like all the kills are fucking
I'm gonna
brutal.
go with either The Fly because just holy shit.
That's
or
a good one too.
Another one that I just love, and it's not body horror, but they invented like the technique to do it, is Tremors. There's a lot of really good practical
the ground
effects,
rumbling,
prosthetics like monsters, the ground, all the like slats on the boards, and yeah. So, but The Fly, I think overall, it was really gross and well done, and like the transformations, they had to like tone it down basically, and still it looks pretty fantastic even now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue against that, but I mean, yeah, like I said, it's hard to shy away from Cannibal Holocaust on this one, to be honest.
I mean, I think the gore was maybe better than the effects. You know what I mean?
Because
like
true.
The problem is it's like it's not on crisp film, and that's part of like what adds to it. Yeah. Well, like you're getting close-ups of Jeff Goldblum while
hey kids, I'm Butterfly. You want to see how I eat?
Yeah, it's
like-
like a display of the technical prowess rather you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
But also like Antlers had
Dude,
some
had some really good stuff.
good
See,
mix
I
of
don't
CGI
I don't remember
and
any of this
practical.
shit.
Yeah, man, that was a long time ago. That was like the first movie of the season. I'm pretty sure.
One of them, at least, yeah.
Yeah, it was like Antler's House, which
I'm-
is of Eastwick, which we haven't even mentioned really.
Oh,
All
man.
those early ones we were struggling to mention, but they do deserve a revisit. One of the early ones that we've touched a lot is Brain Dead, and you mentioned that here, or Dead Alive, and I would argue that like the gores, the effect, and the kill and everything is
But also,
better than
you get like the living fucking like spine that's like up in the attic and like that kind of stuff. Like the practical effects in that movie are really fucking good as well. It's not just gore, but I'm
for
very
practical technique.
I'm very okay with this going to The Fly if it goes
Nightmare on Elm Street
that
3?
way.
The Flight? What?
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Dude, Nightmare's really good
It's
too.
up
though.
there, but I'm putting The Fly above that.
Reanimator.
Reanimator is on my list as well.
Because like
the
that,
Omen.
Dude, no man, not the Omen, but like the marionette scene in Nightmare is so fucking good. And there's also like again like the TV and the fucking like skeleton fight at the end.
Oh,
That's true.
You know,
If
like,
we're
those
kind
are
of
all
thinking
really
about,
good.
if we're kind of thinking about variety, like Nightmare does show great effects in lots of different ways, and not in just gory and
Sustained
gross
on
ways, but
screen.
always in like using normal objects around the room that because like he morphs out and into a lot of objects in that movie, and it's all very well
There's a bunch
done.
of like camera tricks too. It's not just like practical like prosthetics. Like there's stuff where she's falling in and out of the dreamscape and she's disappearing on the
Oh,
screen.
she falls on the chair.
She falls on the chair is really
Yeah.
fucking good.
Fuck, you're making me lean towards Nightmare.
And when he's like disappearing as a skeleton and going back in the dreamscape because he's being, like he's not dead yet and shit.
When Freddy's riding on his chest,
Yeah, and it's ripping up like in his stomach and stuff.
Come
like,
and get him, bitch,
dude. Like, I mean, I really like. Fly is just gross and like really unsettling in a realistic way.
I hate to call the Fly one-dimensional, and I'm not going to do that. But when you
like,
put it,
but it is one
for,
thing.
For like quantity
it is
and
one
quality, like you've got to go like with both. You've got to go with Nightmare.
I'm with Rob. I'm going Nightmare. That wasn't even on my fucking list, and I'm voting for it. Nightmare.
Worst?
well,
I didn't know if we were agreeing on that. And the Elmie for best effects goes to A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
I didn't want to mention for it just because it couldn't compete, but like, if this was 1923, the winner would have been Nosferatu.
It would be the winner for all of them because it'd be the only movie out.
Exactly.
Right.
Next.
End of story. Worst? Okay, got a couple.
Yeah, there's
Number
a
one.
handful.
Invasion of Astro Monster.
Oh,
I
fuck off.
know, but it's just
I
fun.
can't vote. I can't
Fucking
vote for that.
strings on the spaceship.
There are strings on the spaceship.
Okay.
But that was
Dracula,
canon.
Dracula 3D.
Dracula 3D,
3D.
And,
is on mine.
Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Uninvited.
Uninvited had a kind of a cool, but not great, but not
Uninvited
awful.
had some decent effects. Not
It had some
definitely not the
decent
best, but not the
effects.
worst.
Dracula.
Dracula 3D.
It's
It's one of the worst movies I've watched all year.
You're welcome. And the Elmie for worst effects goes to Dracula 3D. Man, Argento out here just stacking them up. All right, whose turn is it?
It's mine.
I think it is too. What do you got?
We're gonna go with best female role.
Oh,
Got a lot. Honestly,
I do actually have 3 that I feel really strongly about.
Okay.
And I thought it was going to be a shoe-in for 1, but I have 3 big ones.
So
I have 3.
Number 1, Kim Hae-suk as Mrs. Ra in Thirst.
That's really good. I didn't have
Fuck,
that.
I didn't think me neither.
Number 2, Betty Davis as Baby Jane.
Yeah.
Yep.
And number 3, Morfydd Clark as Maud in Saint Maud. And then a runner-up, Robin McLeavy as Lola in The Loved Ones.
Okay, what the
Okay.
fuck? I gotta jump in here real quick. Those are some good ones, and in fact, you named 2 of my 3, but you left off what I thought was the most certain winner of the night.
Do you want me to say mine and see if it's one of you? What you think is the shoo-in?
It should only be one, man.
Mine are both female leads in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Joan Crawford and Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tilda in Only Lovers.
Tilda.
Was Tilda your...
It's Tilda, Betty, and Moyfred, but it's Tilda.
Okay, like, Tilda's good, and I love Tilda, but Mrs. Raw acting with only her eyes for half the film?
That is good.
Yeah, but she's also only acting with her eyes. That's the only thing that can betray her.
I'm just saying, like
Tilda's carrying speech and dialogue and body posture and so much. Like, it depends so much more on her. Like,
that's a good point.
I could have done that, and that's also very much not true.
That's
but
not
like,
true.
I'm just saying, like,
and also it's more than that.
It is, but
and it's way
you
more
could
than that, 'cause
have.
She has half the film when she's not doing
you.
That's true.
If you did performances of exact performances of Tilda
each.
yeah,
I'd be closer to one than
you'd
the
be
other.
way closer to one than the other.
That's kind
Well,
of
you're
what I
tall
should have said.
and thin, so you're going to be close to Tilda.
I would like Tilda. Is
I'd like to be close to Tilda.
amazing. I will
I think
accept
it's-
any of these.
I
but
think it's-
Tilda.
I
Let's
think
talk
it's
about
a-
some. Let's talk about some.
Honestly, I think
others,
it's a good
even if they're
performance,
even
but I
if they're
don't
not
even
going
think
to
it's
win
her
it.
best performance as Tilda. Like, I don't think it's her best performance, but Morfydd Clark's particularly good.
She is really good.
And Betty Davis is also like
really
Betty
good.
Davis is fantastic.
really good. And I don't know about, I wasn't not going to like the film, but I was like, all right, it's like an older, and you kind of talked it up, so like, okay, we'll see. And she is fantastic.
I also really liked Robin McLeavy as Lola.
Dude, she's great.
She kills it as Lola.
You talk about psychopath, like,
I thought she was fine.
I think
She's really good.
the way that she
I
delivers that line where it's like, I'm going to go stab your girlfriend in the heart like you stabbed me in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. I don't know. She's great.
Okay, here's one that I think you'll love. She's smaller, though. She won't win because she is gone after the first 30 minutes.
Linnea Quigley? Oh, gone after 30 minutes.
Marion Waldman, Mrs. Mack.
Oh, dude,
Black
I
Christmas.
thought about her, and I
Mrs.
felt like
Mack
she was
is
kind
great.
of like maybe not typecasted, but she is great. She's fantastic.
Stereotyped?
Yeah, a little stereotype. But again, man, I'm gonna put either Kim or Betty. Like,
I'm
I mean,
going
if you're
either.
gonna dig your
I'm
heels
going.
in, it's Betty.
I'm going Betty or Tilton
Tilton.
Tilton. You combine her name. Yeah, if you're putting your foot down there, then it's got to be Betty. If we're all agreeing.
Yeah.
All right, and the Elmie for best female role goes to Betty. What's her last name?
Davis.
Betty Davis.
Good one.
In Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Worst.
Okay.
I put. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
I put everyone in Dracula 3D and everyone in the Carmilla movie.
Okay. Mathilda May as Space Girl. That's her title, the character's name in Life Force.
She did exactly what she was cast to do.
Yeah, you're tripping.
Grace Jones in Vamp, because she just danced around. She's like top billing.
She
They're
was
bad
cool.
performances. Like it.
I don't know if it's a
She
bad
was a
performance.
good
Yeah, she was
performance
like-
in a bad movie.
Yeah.
And guess what my other one is? Natasha Kaczynski Kinski in Cat People.
She was particularly bad, though.
Yeah.
I feel like she was quite bad, and she was like carrying, like she
was just
more
vacant.
responsibility, but she had the responsibility. Like, you can say Grace Jones was the lead billing, and it's kind of like this bait and switch. It's kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
But she comes in and does what she fucking does, and she
For
doesn't talk
6
and like
minutes.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that Mathilda May is kind of like the same thing. Like
she's like 3 or 4 lines. She's like 22
She's-
and naked.
Yeah, and like that's what she's
That's
supposed to
it.
be. It's kind of like Species, and not as like the same. And we're not going to get into that. And Species does it better, whatever. But like with Cat People and Natasha Kinski, that's like not only is she top billing, not only is she like there to get naked and stuff, but she's got to carry a script that's not very strong, and her performance doesn't make it any better. And like her supporting cast, like she's so let down by Malcolm McDowell and everybody else around her. Like I mentioned, that's like maybe she was set up to fail, but that's pretty bad.
She was bad.
It wasn't fun to watch.
No.
And all of the Dracula 3D performances are also pretty bad.
You want to go with Kinski, though?
Yeah.
All right. The Elmie for worst female performance goes to Natasha Kinski.
It's never fun giving those out. We love you, Natasha.
I know. We love you, Natasha.
Billy Boy.
My turn? My turn. Let's do... Da-na-na-na-na-na. We're gonna do a fun one. We're gonna do best and worst nudity. I'll start. Reanimator. Full frontal Barbara Crampton. Life
It's
Force.
amazing,
Yep.
though. Yeah.
Lair the White Worm.
Yeah.
And I just have Linnea Quigley written down as well.
Linnea Quigley that's such a fun scene, and it's like the only reason for the movie that's trash, and it's like total exploitation,
The
garbage,
chainsaw dance?
Mondo type of garbage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mondo
but it's
trash.
also it's great, and Linnea kills it, and she's just so confident and fun. I did have her come to mind, but honestly, this one for me, Reanimator comes to mind because of nudity is effective. It's just like scary. Like that big man is a big man.
And it has
he's
male nudity
terrifying.
as well.
But the one that I'm going to go with is because of its impact, and it's actually gross and terrifying. And that's Samantha Eggar in The Brood at the end when she's got like the fucking baby fetus. She's all breastfeeding and she's got all prolapses outside of her. That shit is tight. It's disgusting. It's hot and it's gross and it's got dead children.
I mean, she's a beautiful woman with like a weird, outside womb thing attached to her.
That's a good pick.
Get that. I also picked Life Force. A lot of beautiful people being nude, or mostly nude if you're a man. And then not sexy but effective. It Follows.
Yeah.
The nudity in that, like her father
Creepy nudity.
and stuff.
Not only that, but also like
Her
that
father's not
the
nudity.
woman who looks like
on
she
the house,
was.
top of the house.
That's not her dad. No, the dad goes to the pool.
Isn't that the same guy?
No. You only see the guy on the roof once, that one time.
Okay.
He's
There's
naked.
also the woman who
But
looks
it is
like she
creepy
was
nakedness in the-
like raped at a party or something. She's all like her tits
like
are
she's
out
all-
and her
yeah.
makeup's all fucked up, and she looks
She's pissing on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like it's all hard and heavy.
And I also say an either or, Cannibal Holocaust, mostly because it's like they didn't really agree to that.
Yeah, that's why that's a tough one. I'm pretty set in stone with Reanimator. I mean, obviously I'm a big fan of Barbara Cramps, but just the fact that there is male and female nudity in it, and it is just best nudity, that one really does it for me, especially since when Barbara Crampton is naked, it is a terrifying scene in a sense, and all the
Honestly, to me, I didn't even think about Barbara
butt-naked
Crampton
dudes
in this,
fighting
which is insane.
with their wieners
That's
out.
insane.
It is insane. And I even had Reanimator come to my mind several times, but it's all about the fucking like perfect specimen, the first like big athletic dude, John Doe. He's like 22.
Oh,
Yeah, and his
Yeah,
big old
dude is
dong swinging while he's
fucking
kicking
terrifying.
ass.
But also like, yeah, I like, oh my God, I love Barbara Crampton, and I try not to make the nudity award about that just because you're beautiful. Otherwise, Mathilda May is kind of making a fucking real case for herself. But the thing about the addition to the Barbara Crampton nudity in this is that is fucking terrifying. Like the Dean decapitated holding his
Yeah.
head going down on you in front of your fucking lobotomized father.
How does
is
that
like,
not win?
I didn't say it didn't.
It's so gross and fucking weird, and there's dongs in it too, and the openness of Barbara Crampton doing that is great. Like just opposed to like Cannibal Holocaust, where it's like, let me scream at you in the forest until you're so
Or you're-
scared that you do this nude scene.
14, you don't speak English.
Yeah.
But yeah. Brain Dead? No. Reanimator.
Reanimator?
Reanimator. I'm for
Reanimator.
it.
The Elmie for best nudity goes to Reanimator. Worst? I have no
None.
such thing.
None.
Oh, I've got one.
Which one?
Blade. Pearl.
No, it's a kind of. I mean, I have to be in the mood, but sexy in a way. Baby, big,
It
big,
works.
thick Baby Eater.
Getting burned up.
Yeah, kind of.
They weren't into skin stuff.
There's a good dick
Skin
in
stuff.
Field in England. There's some hog.
There's hog in Field of England. Yeah,
We're not talking about hogs. We're just talking about nudity.
yeah,
That's true.
including hogs.
No such thing as bad nudity for me.
Yeah, any.
Actually, no, there is. All the non-consensual nudity in Cannibal Holocaust. That's it.
That's
it.
true. Actually, yeah, worst nudity,
Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust, because
Bingo.
of the exploitation of, indigenous young women
In men.
and men.
Yeah.
All right, and the award for worst nudity goes to Cannibal Holocaust. All right, Michael, what do we got?
It's a fun one. It's one of my favorite ones. I thank you guys for saving it for me. Let's go ahead and talk about it.
I know what you're doing. Do.
Wettest mouth.
Well,
For me, it's every creature in Feast.
I put feast. I just wrote feast.
Feast. That's all I wrote. Feast. It's a lot of wet mouths.
Wet mouth feast.
That's fair. I also had the dogs from The Omen and the
I like
uninvited.
how you think of these.
The uninvited.
Oh, the uninvited's mouth is extremely wet. It's got to produce another
it's
head.
got it's got a lead in it.
Lubricate.
And
Fuck, that's a good
also
one.
Blade 2 with their mouths that open up and their tongues that get
Oh,
out.
the Reapers and their
Yeah.
Oh,
split
yeah, those are fucking
fucking
sick.
thing. Fuck, those are good ones.
But
I
it's
have to
got
go
to be
uninvited or Feast, I think,
It's
right?
got to be Feast, right?
I think Feast.
They're so wet.
They're so wet, and there's so many.
There's so many wet mouths.
And the Elmie for wettest mouth goes to Feast. All right, what about driest mouth?
Ooh, mine.
Yeah, we didn't
Rob's.
we didn't have dry mouth because we don't care about dry mouth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, we don't care about that.
Okay, let's pick a big boy.
Big boy.
How about? Shut up, bitch. Best director.
Ooh, this one is always difficult, as well.
So
Do you
we
want
got-
to start with
We
what you
got,
have?
Park Chan-wook for The Thirst.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
He's
got
incredible,
the-
absolutely incredible.
Jim Jarmusch for Only Lovers Left Alive.
Put it on the board.
And I've got Cronenberg for The Fly.
Jim Jarmusch.
I got Cronenberg, Kathleen Bigelow, Coppola, Del Toro, and Rose Glass. But, fuck, yeah.
What about Bob Clark? Black Christmas.
Black
No.
Christmas.
What about ya boy? I'm sorry, I gotta look up his name because I'm gonna fuck it up if I don't.
Yeah, buddy.
Thomas Alfredson. Let the right one in.
That's good.
Thirst
Yeah,
is
this
definitely up
hard.
there.
Yeah, it's really hard to disagree with
Anna Lily on the
that.
Pour. Like, I mean, if you want to talk about
Yeah, it's also very good.
beautiful direction. I mean, are you guys impressed with Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez Blair Witch Project based on what they had? It Follows. I don't know if these
I
are in the
mean,
same tier as the top of
yeah.
this list.
I don't know if
Blair
like, you
Witch-
can really call what they did directing.
I was about to say they didn't.
You know,
They left
Right.
so much
Into
up
the hands
to
of
the actors.
Yeah.
That they were kind of babysitters in a way.
Well, basically, I'm just throwing out other options and
Yeah,
buying
yeah.
time
No,
because
of
my it's Jim Jarmusch and it's
Yeah,
only Lars Left
that's
Alive.
fair.
Oh,
I
it is.
mean,
It's not Park Chan-wook.
It's one of those two for me. I really like Thirst.
I really
is
like Park
really
Chan-wook.
good. It's just perfect.
It really.
And that's 1 and 2 for me.
Thirst.
Thirst. And the Elmie for best director goes to Park Chan-wook for directing Thirst.
Okay, for worst,
David Gordon Green, Halloween Ends.
I've also got
Dario Argento, Dracula 3D.
Paul Schrader for Cat People, Brett Leonard for Lawnmower Man,
What?
and Sion Sono for Noriko's Dinner Table,
No, that one's off the table.
and Ruggero Deodato for Cannibal Holocaust because he's a
No.
piece of shit.
Fuck off.
We're not giving out Lifetime Achievement Awards and,
Rest in peace.
Jared Deodato's. Yeah. Okay.
Gordon Green.
David Gordon
David
Green.
Gordon Green.
What did he do?
Halloween
Halloween
ends.
Oh, sure. Whatever.
And the Elmie for worst director goes to Halloween Ends. I won't even say his name.
Fuck Deodato.
Fuck you, David Gordon Green.
Yeah, fuck Deodato too, though.
Yeah. Fuck, marry, kill.
Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill. I'm gonna do another banger.
I think there's only one banger left. Well, there's two, depending on what you're banging.
Well, I'm banging the best and worst kill.
Ooh, buddy.
I know there's going to be so many that I don't have, and hopefully you guys have them, but I'm going to just go ahead and run through my short list in no particular order. And I named all these, but you'll know what I mean. The vein puppet kill from Nightmare 3.
Yeah, the marionette.
Pull through the priest in The Omen. T-Rex stomping on teenagers during the party and Tammy. Gina killing Jeff in The Fly. Almost every single kill in Dead Alive. And this is my controversial pick, but holy fuck, if this kill didn't... There's not a lot of things that make me feel like unsettled or uncomfortable, and the way it was shot and acted and everything. Benny's video when he kills the girl in his room is fantastically shot and acted and is horrifying.
I respect that and your view, and I think the opposite of that particular scene. But my number one is the puppet
Vein puppet
from Nightmare, along with the skeleton fight and the TV kill. There's also like top kills for me.
Lots of great kills in that movie.
And antlers. The burned out corpse is fucking sick.
You do like that.
You keep bringing that up. I can't
into
even
that,
remember it.
Man.
I need to look this shit up. What do you got, Michael?
It's a different kill from a movie that you mentioned.
Do I have a second to guess? No, go ahead. I'm not doing that. Unless it's the girl hanging herself at the beginning of The Omen.
No, it's from The Omen. It's a different kill. Omen decap, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck!
yeah, that is pretty good.
Oh, the
The
truck
Omen is
roll
full of
black
great kills,
glass
man.
decap. That is really good for many different reasons. On-screen decap and what they did to pull that off to get the head propelled forward as the body falls back. Fuck, that is good.
It's a fun
The
one.
Omen has some great fucking kills in it. Is Vein Puppet up there for
Dude,
you?
the fucking marionette.
I mean, how could it not be? They vein puppet until he jumps out the fucking window. He doesn't die from bleeding out. He fucking jumps out the window
And
and
it's
commits suicide.
dark. I mean, it's dark. I mean, this movie deals with like teen suicide. Like,
Yeah, they don't lock
heavily.
the windows at that fucking mental institution. What the fuck?
And then, like the fact that, or like in the movie, like these kids are being killed by Freddy, and the adults think that they're all just committing suicide.
Which is rough.
I'm down to go with Vein Puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vein pup.
Vein pup.
And Elmie for the best kill goes to the Vein Puppeteer kill from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Worst kill.
Halloween ends when they kill Michael. They fucking kill Michael by fucking shooting him and putting him in a fucking industrial shredder.
Yeah, Halloween
Get
ends.
fucked.
Halloween
That's how
ends,
you're gonna
get
kill
fucked.
Michael. You don't even have a final showdown with fucking Laurie and Michael. You bring Jamie Lee Curtis
Oh.
Back to do
after all
nothing?
this shit. You make a new fucking trilogy, and you're gonna kill Michael.
Fuck you.
And that's what you fucking came up with.
Fuck you, David
Fuck
Gordon
that
Green.
movie.
Fuck you.
Okay.
What
I
do you
had
got?
one that was either or because it actually has a really good kill and then a bunch of kills that suck.
I have another one too besides that.
Black Christmas. Black Christmas has a really cool kill at the beginning that you don't really see, but you get to see the after effects of.
I know, I wanted to say that one. You're talking about
And then
the back.
everything else is like off screen, like all the other Giallo movies, and they suck. Like I don't want to watch I don't want to see somebody dead after the fact. And I know it's proto slasher. I don't give a shit. It's like not fun.
I also put
It's very fun.
Lawnmower Man when he is just turning people into dots that just kind of float around.
That or actually, is a good kill is at the gas station, like getting like the
he lights on fire. Yeah,
that one was solid, but the people just turning into little orbs and floating around. But yeah, Halloween Ends.
Also, Visitor Q, because I don't really remember that movie, and I remember it being boring. So I put it as worst kill.
Does anyone die?
I don't think anyone really dies in that.
Yeah, but I don't know if you see it. So yeah, but Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends.
And the Elmie for worst kill goes to Halloween Ends. Fuck you, David Gordon Green.
Fuck you.
All right, Michael.
I think that brings us to our last one, right?
Maybe.
When we go through, yeah.
I've got one left.
We got one left, and it is saving the best for last.
Wait, is this really the last one?
Yes.
All right.
Best hog.
Oh, I have another one.
Oh, costume.
Yep.
Right?
Oh.
Costume.
I'll do costume. You do hog.
Okay, best hog. All of them.
All of them.
Reanimator. But all of them.
Yeah, Reanimator.
Reanimator,
Let's
all of them. All right, the Elmie for best hog goes to any movie that has them. This year, it's Reanimator.
And the last Elmie for the 2023 season 3 is something I feel like I rarely talk about personally, but the best costume.
Costumes.
I've got
it's
a
what
couple.
people wear.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yep.
Only Lovers Left Alive.
Yep.
And a singular one, and it's the cover, Rigor Mortis.
Yeah, the face, the ornamental
coins,
stuff on the face is cool as fuck.
Sick.
Yeah, for me, it's hard to not pick Bram Stoker's Dracula for a costume.
Just amazing. Okay.
I wanted to give a shout out to Captain Cronus Vampire Hunter.
Okay.
I want to
There were some fun costumes in that.
give a shout out to some of the costumes in A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Yep.
Very eccentric. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoke.
And the Elmie for best costume goes to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
And the worst costumes? Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. We already talked about this. It's like a polyester cloak from Party City.
Yeah, but sexy.
No, not them. Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue.
It's hard to argue, but I want to. But
It was cheaper than the wardrobe for Dracula 3D.
It was cheaper.
The
They
whole
had, like,
movie.
a real costume shop that they used.
Yeah, but the costumes in Dracula 3D were better.
Yeah, they were.
yeah.
Dude, I would say Vamp had some pretty, crappy costumes. Vamp was pretty bad.
Yeah, Vamp was
Vamp
bad.
was-
I had a couple of
Vamp was pretty bad, but I mean, Grace Jones, weird spiral things were kind of cool. And then I feel like the guys kind of just wore 80s guys clothes. Yeah. You know what I mean? For the most part. Yeah, it's hard. As much as I did like the Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, it's hard to
Call it a good movie.
Yeah.
Any metric.
Yeah. Are we going with that?
Yeah.
We have to.
All right. The Elmie for worst costume goes to Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
And that concludes season 3 Elmies.
Should we do our in memoriam?
In memoriam? Like what? Like
Tiny Dinky
Tank
Daffy.
Tiny Dinky Daffy, pancaked by a drunk driver.
That's the end of the season. Woohoo!
Woo-hoo! Guys,
Season
Wow.
3. Do you guys
That's
know how
amazing.
many episodes there were this season? Like, what episode number is this?
I have no idea.
I'd
Do you?
say
Take a guess.
It's
31.
Episode 70.
70?
For the season.
For
I
this
thought you said
season.
total.
No, this season. This season.
Oh, this season?
How many did we do?
I'm going to say 27.
One off.
28. 26.
Other way. 26.
Oh.
27. One off. 25.
25.
Good. That's fun.
Good. That's
Good. Good.
You know how many movies we watched?
26 episodes, but I did count them, but I don't remember the number. It's a lot.
we did like
over
53,
50, I think. Yeah,
53.
53 movies this
season because we had the Blitz.
Jesus
With the
Christ,
Blitz.
It's insane.
God, we watched so many movies that we didn't do pods on.
No kidding. I was talking to people about that. I was like, yeah, we watched like 100 movies together, and then I don't know, probably another
At
20,
least
30.
another 100 apart for me.
Fuck, man. Well, what were the highlights? I know we just did the whole thing, but like, what stood out to you? What was fun? Let's wrap up season 3. Let's, for me, I fell in love with the new movie. To me, is become my favorite film ever made, and that's fucking
Only
Only Lovers
Lovers.
Left Alive. That's important to me.
Loved Ones was really, really good. That was kind of a sleeper hit for me. Tammy, of course, which we kind of
Shout
saw
out, Tammy.
initially, but we did like we watched along and all that. That's
a lot of fun.
Just a lot of fun camp.
God, we ate such trash food that night, like walking
so
tacos and
good.
Sour Patch Kids and fucking root beer and shit.
It was insane, honestly. But and Invasion of the Astro Monsters. That was another one that I would never
Hilarious.
have watched on my own.
Hilarious.
And that was really good and fun. Finally got to see Antlers. It was in production hell for years and COVID, and then finally came out and wasn't the end all be all, but was
It's fucking good.
really good, heavy.
Watch it again.
Yeah, watched it again. A lot of really good food with you boys. We cook for each other often, and it's always good.
Personally, I was a big fan of going to Seoul. That was my first time in Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And the moon. Actually, I
and
never.
Mars.
We had Mars. Yeah.
Yeah, we made
Mars
a
was
side
cool.
trip to the moon.
Seoul was cooler than the moon. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to do on the moon,
No.
There's no
or
K-pop.
anyone to do.
There's
on
no
the moon.
M-pop.
There's no M-pop.
Well, we wrote that song.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
so pop, boop, bop, dap, pop, dee dap, dap,
pop.
No, we did write a song out in the woods while we watched fucking Blair Witch Project the one night. I can't remember what the fuck.
Oh, it's
Something about like
call me home if you feel cold.
no, it was like come in your butt if you want to, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think I was singing that.
Something like that. Thirst was definitely a standout for me as movies we watched this year that, were really incredible, as well as Only Lovers Left Alive, and Snowtown too. I know you didn't like it, but that was one of my favorite watches this year. I like things that make me feel uncomfortable.
Snowtown was
and
absolutely
that movie is
brutal.
hard to watch, and it's brutal.
Brutal.
The Fly,
The Fly was great,
Yeah, Gina.
especially since.
Jeff.
Sorry, horror nerds out there if you're listening, but I mean I'm let down by a lot of Cronenberg. But The Fly was fantastic.
I was surprised when Cronenberg was nominated tonight for Best Director and not Worst after because the Brood. I thought maybe
It's
he was
really
going to
bad.
get some hate from you guys. I watched more Cronenberg movies this year than I had
Any
seen
other
none
year.
because we off pod we watched Videodrome, and we do other movies too, not just for the pod. So yeah, I don't know. Watching The Fly was good because everything else pretty much sucked. I loved Thirst. I was happy to finally get to watch a couple movies I've been meaning to watch for a long time. The Devil's Backbone was one of those.
Oh yeah, it's a
Hollywood
good movie we
Chainsaw
didn't talk
Hookers
about.
was actually a movie I've been trying to watch for a really long time, believe it or not. And then revisiting some classics with my boys, man. Watching Tremors was great. I haven't seen The Omen in years. It was like, it's been a good season. And mostly it's just traveling and food and movies and talking shit and telling jokes. But, we're here at Boca Bignata. This has been a big part of our year as well, and I wouldn't spend it anywhere else.
Also, shout out to the Toolbox Murders. Didn't come up at all,
I
but
know.
kind of a sleeper.
Yeah. I was
Kind
also
of a sleeper. It has good nudity, has good kills. Score, I don't really remember. I feel like it was typical, just like slamming on a synth piano, whatever. But
Yeah.
that movie exceeded my expectations for 70s slasher, which is kind of that weird period of time where America's like, what are we doing with slashers?
I fasted a couple times looking at it, and I wanted to bring it up more. I wanted to bring up Nosferatu more. I was happy you picked that.
Lots of good movies that we didn't get to talk about,
Yeah.
and that's just
How it goes, man.
and that
the awards.
that's just how it goes.
We talk about the best, and we talk about the worst, and there's a lot in between. Listen to the episodes, give them a watch, revisit them on your own or
Chew
whatever.
that fat.
Yeah, just don't watch Halloween Ends. Don't give them money.
And listen to Midsummer.
Yeah.
Listen to the Midsummer episode. Go back like 2 seasons.
Maybe speed it up by 3%.
Watch it in 1.5 speed, and it will only be 2 hours long.
But yeah, that's the end of season 3.
Season 3,
gonna
season
announce
4.
The first episode of season 4. Are we announcing that?
Oh, are we?
Are we?
I have it.
Season
here.
4, the final season, the morgue door season.
Morgue door.
Closing the
Hashtag
morgue door.
We're closing the morgue door, and we're kicking it off with a pick from Rob.
This pick is a movie near and dear to my heart, and I think we've all seen it. It's
the second movie of something.
the
Blade Trinity.
1994 Interview with a Vampire.
Oh.
Directed by Neil Jordan, starring Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Kirsten Dunst, Antonio Banderas, Stephen Ray, Christian Slater.
God.
I mean, it's
Stacked.
It's not short. It's 2 hours.
It's a
And
good fucking movie, though.
It is gorgeous, beautiful, well acted, everything. It's not particularly scary, but it is a great
It's a vampire
horror,
movie.
horrific, gothic movie, vampire movie, and it is streaming on HBO Max if you have a subscription. So
Right on. This is one I've been meaning to revisit. It's been a while, so
Same.
I'm excited.
Oh, man, I love this movie.
But
This is one I've seen so
this
many
at least
times.
4 times. Oh yeah,
Really? I think I've only seen it once.
I'm,
really
It
good.
was a while ago.
I'm not
so.
exaggerating when I say I've seen this movie more than
I
20
mean,
times.
I know you guys aren't
watched
gay
this-
yet, but watch this movie.
I don't know, man. I raised a lot of questions in my high school years. I'm not even joking, with aunts and shit, because I was a big Anne Rice
Anne
fan.
Rice
I
fan.
read a lot, or I've read a handful of the novels and watched these movies a lot. Like Queen of the Damned wasn't very good, but I watched it, and this movie
not very
I
good.
fucking love. This movie.
It's really good.
Probably haven't seen it in 10 years, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah,
Be
suck
like-
on each other's necks.
That'd be a good way. It's a good way to kick it off.
Thank you, Elmers.
Thank you, Elmers.
Thank you, Elmers.
Love me easy if you love me with just my dreams.
Comes and goes, you drink and go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, pull up with us, watch 2 films. Come on, watch 2 films. If you scared,